Good morning. This is June the 4th, Wednesday, 2025. We are in BBA second semester compulsory English class, where last week people presented on the essay The Myth of Innovation, from the book The Myth of Innovation, What Makes a Good Manager. And then I assigned some of you to present on Arthur Miller's play, The Death of a Salesman. Hope presenters are preparing. From today, we are beginning Unit 6 of the curriculum, that is about academic writing. Open a new page in your copy. Open a new page in your copy. And write. Write an essay. Write the assignment. Write an essay describing. Write an essay describing what you understand by academic writing. Look at me. So what I am doing, I will show you a number of books on the topic of academic writing, and I will highlight key ideas that define academic writing. And as I highlight the key ideas, your job is, in a note copy, you will make very brief notes based on my explanation. And using those notes you make in this class today, this afternoon at home, you will write the essay. So here we begin. So as you can see, this title of the book, it's a well-known book by Stephen Bailey. If you go to Google and just type books by Stephen Bailey, you will see a list of books by him. He has written books for science students, business students, and international students. So what I will do, I will focus on the title of the book and try to make you understand what is academic writing. For example, if you see the title, it is a writing that is mostly done by students. It is a writing mostly done by students. Now in your copy, note down, writing done by students. That's a point. And you will develop a paragraph that academic writing is a type of writing which is done by students. For example, students write exam essays, students write summary essays, like that. So it is a writing done by students. Now we'll move to another book. Later on we'll come back to this book and we'll get into the syllabus, into the table of content. Second, academic writing has a process of writing. It follows process. For example, pre-writing, while writing, revising. 3 steps. In the pre-writing stage, You gather information for writing. For example, I'm explaining you this concept of academic writing. And what are you doing? You are noting down. Please put the phone inside the bag. I've been telling you multiple times, do not keep a mobile phone outside in my class. Time and again I've been telling you, please do not keep your mobile phone on the desk in my class. I'll simply seize it because it's highly distracting to you and to me. So it follows processes. There are steps of writing. Academic writing has steps of writing. A systematic step, what to do first, next, third. For example, you cannot revise without doing writing. You cannot do writing without collecting information. It goes systematically. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Second, it uses strategies. It uses strategies. For example, there is something called, to write, you need ideas. To write, you need ideas. Where are the ideas? Ideas are inside your brain. They are also outside your brain. Where are ideas outside your brain? They are in books. They are in television. They are on the internet. They are with a teacher. Similarly, they are also inside your mind because you have studied English for 13 years by now. So you have a lot of ideas because you went to school for 13 years. So you have a lot of ideas in your mind, but the problem is you don't remember them. So what do? You have to storm your brain so that it recalls the ideas. Storming the brain, hitting the brain, shaking the brain. Storm. That is called brainstorming for idea. You shake your brain and brain remembers. I don't mean literally you shake like this. You can't do like this and get ideas. Brainstorming means forcing your brain to remember what it has. There are techniques. So brainstorming is a strategy of generating ideas. So I said academic writing follows processes and give example. And I said academic writing uses strategies and give you example. Let's move to next book. So what I am doing, as I told you, I am doing two things. I am showing you some of the good books on academic writing. And I am showing you all the titles and helping you understand what is academic writing by focusing on the titles of these books. Okay. See here. Academic writing, a brief rhetoric. See this word rhetoric. What is academic writing? Academic writing is persuasive writing. It tries to convince the reader about something. For example, in that essay which talks about cultural identities, the writer argues that if you understand how cultural identities are formed, you will have smooth intercultural communication. That's a persuasive statement, convincing you to study your essay and understand what is cultural identity. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric is art of persuasion, art of convincing people. Politicians use this a lot, but they're accused of using false ideas, right? This is a wonderful book. In future, whenever you need to do some research or serious kind of writing, you can come back to this information in memory and say, Divakar sarle padhanu bhayeko thiyo, let me check this book in library. Okay, it's persuasive writing. In academic writing, for example, when you write in exam, you are persuading your teacher to give you better marks by writing correctly, good grammar, correct spelling, correct punctuation, relevant ideas, focusing on the question. You are persuading your teacher. So give me a grade, in a sense, right? It's persuasive. I have a book which does not seem to have the table of content, right? Let me see if we have topic. Okay. At least we got one feature. Academic writing has patterns. There are similarities. There is a book, very famous book, Patterns for College Writing, or in college writing, I forgot. Right? Academic writing has pattern. It has a design. Okay. Here you have another book title which helps understand what is academic writing. Academic writing has certain structure. A given structure, you have to follow it. It's a rigid kind of writing. You have to follow the given. For example, most of the essays you will write, they will have an introduction. Right? Your introduction will begin with a general statement on the topic, and your introduction will end with a specific thesis statement. Look, this is called the funnel structure. Funnel. You use funnel to pour oil. The funnel has wide open mouth and narrow ending. Funnel. This is also called reverse pyramid structure. Normal pyramids go like this. Reverse pyramid or funnel structure. From general idea to narrow specific idea. It has structure. Then you have discussion section in your essay. Right? Discussion sections have paragraphs. They have paragraphs, right? Paragraphs have main idea and supporting details, right? Paragraphs. Then you have conclusion. Look, see the structure. And a simple essay has a structure, right? So academic writing has structure. I need to learn that. Another, let me focus on this word. Academic writing is based on analysis. It is based on analysis. You read your sources, what others are saying on the topic, and you analyze their statements. You are writing an essay on a poem, you analyze the poem, you separate parts and see each part in relation to another part. You try to understand. Academic writing is highly analytical writing. Right? Okay. Then okay. See, very important. Academic writing is the kind of writing which is based on critical thinking. See the two words, thinking and critical. Thinking. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is you make a statement about something and somebody says, why should I believe you? Then you supply the proof. Then they believe. When you talk with the proof, you are a critical thinker. But if you just make sweeping claims without proof, you are not a critical thinker. How do you bring proof in academic writing? In academic writing, you bring proof by citing your sources. You cite your sources because you are gathering ideas from other people, other scholars. It's a very important thing to understand. Academic writing uses critical thinking. That's why people who do research, they are critical thinkers. They look for evidences before they say something. They bring evidences. They offer reasons to corroborate what they're saying. They bring evidence and reason to support, to back up their ideas. Okay. Academic writing is highly effective writing. It is powerful writing. Why it is effective? Because it is based on research. It is effective because it brings evidence to support the ideas. It is effective because it has clarity. It is written very clearly. Lucidity, clarity. It is effective because it is audience conscious. It is effective because it makes argument, powerful arguments. And one of the most important components of academic writing or writing at all is paragraphs. Paragraphs are the most important elements of writing. If you don't know how to compose a good paragraph, you can't do academic writing. Right? Let me slightly take you through the table of content of this book, because this is a very basic book about academic writing. I'll spend a few minutes browsing through the table of content that will help you understand what is academic writing. Now, I am taking you into the table of content of this book. It's a very basic book. used by grade 11, 12 students. It was also in BBS classes I taught 20 years back. So as I said, academic writing is based on good, properly written sentences and properly composed paragraphs, right? It has organization. Paragraphs have topic, sentence, they have ideas, as I've been telling you when we are reading papers. It has unity and coherence. This writing has unity and coherence. What is unity? It means even if it is 17-page essay, it sticks around a single idea. For example, the essay cultural identities may have 17 pages, but all these 17 pages revolve around the central idea of what is cultural identity, how it is formed, and how it affects intercultural communication. It has unity. What is coherence? Parts fit together. It matches, the coat matches with the paint, the color is same, it is coherent. Right? If I use another kind of check kind of paint, you will say, oh, sorry, plain black coat, there is no coherence. Cohere. Cohere means to fit together, to go together, to live together. So when sentences fit together, paragraphs fit together, ideas fit together, it has coherence. So academic writing is very coherent writing. Academic writing is writing that needs high editing. You need to edit it. What is editing? In editing, you check the proof, you check the spelling, you check grammar, you check punctuation, right? Academic writing can be descriptive, right? You can be describing something, right? Okay. It can be about some process. It can be about opinion. It can tell a story. Okay, now let me take it to another book. So what is academic writing? Essay writing is academic writing. Writing essays is an example of academic writing. Most of the time, as part of academic writing, you will be writing essays. Your essays can be 5 paragraphs, 5 pages, 50 pages, 100 pages. Even your thesis having 300 pages is an essay, an external research-based essay, right? Quickly, let's check the curriculum table of content and see what is given inside. So as I said, it's about essay writing, right? Same, now let's move ahead. Let's see the third book and what is given there. Normally, when you begin learning to write essays, they encourage you to write 5 paragraph essays, but that's not a good idea. There's a basic structure, 5 paragraph essay. In 5 paragraph essay, you have paragraph 1 as introduction, you have paragraph 1 as conclusion, and in between you have 3 body paragraphs, right? That's a very basic prototype just for learning. But please understand that good writers do not write 5 paragraph essays. The number of paragraph depends on the density of the idea they are discussing. Okay. Now we move to so here this book shows you that academic writing is the kind of writing that is mostly done by researchers. It is done by researchers. When you reach semester 7 and when they ask you to write a research paper, you will do this kind of writing. Let's quickly browse through the table of content of this book and see what is given. Okay, so look here, there are some important things. For example, academic writing uses formal style. It is very rule based, it is very rigid kind of writing. You can't write freely as you want. For example, if you are writing a research paper, you must leave margin on all sides, and there is a rule about the length of the margin. You must have works cited section, you must have in-text citation. How you bring quotations, there is a rule. 3-sentence quotation, or 3-line quotation, or 5-line quotation, block quotation. Everything has a rule. And what is the book that tells you the rules? There is a very famous book that you should know about. That is called style book. As a researcher, you must consult a style book. What are the most famous style books? One is MLA handbook. Mostly used by humanities teachers, students. Modern Language Association. This is a handbook. It is a thick book that lays down the rules of writing, research writing. But management people don't follow this book. What book do you follow? You follow APA handbook. You don't follow MLA, you people. You will follow APA handbook. There is some variation in the rules. But without consulting this book, you can't do research. I said it is a formal style, it is rule based. So this is the book that tells you the formal elements. It is very cautious writing. Even a single spelling error can mar and you may be rejected in your work. If your research paper has 5 spelling errors, you are not counted. Your paper is thrown, rejected. Even single error is not excusable. Not a single error, not one error is excusable. So you avoid, you revise 10 times to make sure there is no error. Right? It uses academic vocabulary. For example, in ordinary language you say only. In academic writing, you don't write only, you write merely. Look, merely is academic vocabulary, only is ordinary vocabulary. In ordinary language you write because. In academic language you write for. There are books that help you with this kind of thing. And if you practice a lot, you will gradually develop academic vocabulary. What is academic vocabulary? Scholarly terms and phrases and words that you use in writing. Okay, so for example, if you see this book, it tells you what verbs, collocations, right? It uses correct grammar. Even if one sentence is wrong in your 10-page paper, you will have big problem. Your credibility will be gone. People won't trust you. They won't read your paper. They will say this, oh, this guy is cheating us. Look, he doesn't know how to write. Look his grammar, right? There is specific word order, right? The rules of grammar. Then you must know where to divide a paragraph, right? You should know where to break a paragraph. You should know how to write academic names, titles, citations, footnote, notes, list of references, bibliography. See the academic vocabulary, bibliography, acknowledgement, appendices. So in academic writing, what are the major genres? What things do you write? What do you write? Check here, what do you write? Mostly, as part of your academic writing, you will be writing summaries. What do you summarize? You are doing research and you find books from the library on a topic. You read the chapter. You understand the argument and you summarize in 2 sentences, 3 sentences. 1 paragraph. Summarizing, right? You will write research papers, which will use methodology, theory, result. Then you will write abstract. What is abstract? Abstract is like a small window which allows you to have the broad view. Abstract is where you very briefly summarize the main argument of your paper, the main finding of your paper, the method your paper is using, the theoretical perspective, what recommendations you make, conclusion. So in your abstract, you present your research problem, you present your research method, etc. Right? Then there are conference abstracts. Like you go for conference, so then they publish notice, please submit your papers if you want to take part in conference. So before 3 months, you send abstract. You have not written the paper yet, but you send a brief summary, 1 paragraph summary. This is my abstract. And if they like it, they allow you, they say, okay, go write your paper. And you submit the paper, right? So what is research, what is academic writing? Conference writing, abstract writing, right? What else? Academic writing is about research projects, right? Academic writing is about writing CVs, biodata, letters, request submission letter, email, recommendation letters. All these are academic writing examples, right? That's from this book, right? Just a minute. Let me open some other books and show you more ideas. I don't know. I'm telling you these things, and I told you earlier that as I explained, your job is to very carefully note down the points. Have you noted down the points? Do you have points? Okay. Do you have points? Because this afternoon, you will be developing an essay based on these points. So let me open another book and then explain you further points. Okay, here is another book on the topic of academic writing. Academic Writing and Introduction. A good book to know what is academic writing. Let's browse the table of content and quickly understand what is academic writing by focusing on the ideas in this book. It's a special kind of genre. It's a very different kind of writing. It's a very special genre. It is its own structure system, right? So, it's a writing done at the university. Although the writing you did in primary school, that's also academic writing. the essays you wrote in grade 5, 4 in exam. If you took exam in class 3 by sitting like this, that's an academic writing. Your teachers marked your answer sheets, they gave marks, and they gave you back. That's academic writing, right? But the difference is that the kind of writing that you do at the university is highly argumentative, and it is highly based on sources. You have to read a lot to write at the university. You have to read what other people have written. That's the difference, right? Because it's research writing. Now, in academic writing, readers are at the center because you are writing for someone. If you are doing your PhD, you are writing your thesis primarily for research committee. You have supervisor, internal supervisor, external supervisor, specialists. So you are writing for them primarily. Secondarily, hopefully you will publish a thesis so anybody can read. By anybody I mean a farmer might not read your thesis, but a scientist might read. Scholars read scholars' ideas. A farmer won't read the nature journal, I mean, for example. What is nature journal? Nature. Nature is a journal about medical sciences, which publishes articles from medical area, right? So readers, you are talking to your reader, audience, right? Your tone is important, right? You follow traditions of writing. Then in academic writing, you make citation and summary. You read, you go to library and you get this book. Compile is, oh, this is useful. You borrow the book, come home, and you read a chapter. And you feel that what the chapter says is useful to you. So will you copy the whole chapter? No. You will copy the ideas you need. You copy. That's summarizing. That's summarizing. You copy something from this book in a notebook. You're summarizing. Now you incorporate these notes into your research paper. And when you incorporate these ideas into your research paper, you must tell about this book. If you don't tell about this book, you will be pretending that it is your idea and you will be accused of stealing, plagiarism. So how do you tell about this book? You write, you quote, you summarize, you paraphrase, you give the gist and put a bracket. At the end of the sentence, put a bracket. And if you got this from this page, for example, let's say page number 87, you write 87. Here is the name of the author. At the end, you mention the name of the author. Citation. That's why research writing is highly respected, because every single idea you present there, you give the proof where you got it. You say nothing without proof in research. You say nothing without proof. It's not like bluffing. Research is not bluffing. Research is speaking with evidence. Speaking with evidence. Okay. So how do you summarize in academic writing? Look here. Look here. You note the gist, write summary, right? You report. Okay, then after summary, what else do you do? You define. Okay, another point to understand. Academic writing is a kind of writing that uses scholarly style. What is scholarly style? I told you earlier. For you people, management students, if you have a question, Divakar sir, what is the style that I should know? Now you will need to consult APA Handbook of Style. If you were humanities students, you will consult MLA Handbook of Style. Right? They have rules. How to format the paper, how many pages, where to put the headings, subheadings, right? So you will see that academic writing is very complicated. It is difficult, it's not easy, because it has 1,000 rules to follow. It has 1,000 rules to follow, right? Another point to understand is academic writing makes argument. It's highly argumentative. It makes a statement and then backs up with the proof, evidence, reason, right? Academic writing creates knowledge. It creates knowledge. It creates knowledge. When you read the 3 articles in your course last time, one about, all of them about intercultural communication, 3 articles. So you got the knowledge about communication. You got the knowledge about how to be a smooth communicator, right? So it creates knowledge. There are methods of research, qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative using numbers, qualitative using words. So there are methods to create knowledge, right? There is modality. Look that essay where the writer talked about intercultural communication theories. He said that existing theories are fragmentary, so I propose more integrative model. And his model has 3 parts: individual system, episodic system, and what was the last one? His integrative model has 3 systems: individual system, episodic system, and can somebody remember the last one? Okay. It has models, structures, right? It has introductions. It has discussion sections, conclusions. That's all. Let me show another book. I hope you are noting down ideas very carefully. Look here, as the title says, academic writing has a purpose. It has a purpose. You write with a purpose, right? Look some other elements of academic writing. Academic writing has unity. Look, there was 17-page essay has one idea: cultural identity. It has coherence, things fit together, right? It uses references. For example, if you go to paragraph 88, page 88, look here. See the references. Why does the writer have to give this detail at the end of the book? To make it more credible. See the reference. Alicia Bana, last name, first name in short, year, the teaching of English in Indonesia, in Britton J. Schaefer, RE, this. See the detail. Publisher, year of publication, name of the text, writer, all the details are given. Why? To make the work more credible. Just a minute, I'm about to end the class. We stop here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. An assignment is, when you come to my class tomorrow, you will bring on a separate page an essay. You will bring an essay that is given in the very beginning of this page. When I started this class today, do you remember? I gave you an assignment first. And I said, my class will help you do the assignment. So when you come to my class tomorrow, you will bring that written essay. Are you clear? Thank you.